Hello everyone and welcome back to round 21 here, the final race at Abu Dhabi in the Assist League in AOR. I once again am joined by Tam.
Hello, second time of asking. We are here in Abu Dhabi for the final race of the A1 season. Currently got 13 cars on the grid once again to take on this circuit. So, Jaco, not sure if he can be I'm not sure if he can be trusted as much this time. Has also put his rain chant in the chat. Personally, I don't buy it this time. Can't fill us once, can't fill us twice. That's what I'll say. But we'll see. But yeah, would be very surprised if we got rain again. But we'll see what goes on. So obviously we've got the fight for P2 of the championship. We won't go into it as much detail. If you want to find out the permutations for that, go watch the previous stream because we can't be bothered really.
Sorry, I just read the chat. But at the moment we're watching Sevi going very, very slowly down the back straight on the ultra-soft compound tyres. There are a lot of people early on the hyper-soft, so maybe there's not rain. Yeah. Well, maybe there actually is. So, is J. Cole back on pole again? That's just how luck works in this game.
That's what always happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
First. Looks like the first man on the lap is Mr. Gameaholic in the Cyber. He will we'll see if he's able to replicate that. He's on the Hypersoft tyres, and of course he is going to be warmed up a little bit more than he was before, so we might see some quick times off the bat. But we're going to have to wait and see as Gameaholic hard on the brakes now into turn 8. Now, braking, try and hit that apex on the inside, and then there's a couple of different lanes you can run. You can take that curb or you can choose to avoid it. Gameaholic now powering down up into 7th gear overtake mode. Now preparing for the very awkward final sector of this lap. You've got to hit the apex and take as much curb as you can to that double apex now. Braking down. Oh, looks like he hasn't backed off by the looks of things. Around turn 14, though, nice and said he isn't actually going full throttle, so he has indeed backed off that lap.
Yeah, we got confirmation of something in the chat. Because we have a second driver saying it's full rain.
Ooh.
That's will be interesting.
So by the looks of things, Jacob wasn't lying. Apparently full rain as well, which Rodriguez is saying in the chat. So very spicy. I think we're seeing a lot of hyper soft times if that's the case. But the first time isn't hyper soft time. It's Jacob or 134.8 on the ultras and just beaten by a 10th by Extrema. But of course the Mercedes on the hyper soft tires. Interesting choices from these two. As I'm watching Eos. He still has a chance of top P4 in the championship, so he's got to put in the best lap he can up to the line. There's a 35.2, but on the super soft tyres, that is an impressive lap. And just ahead of his teammate, not by much. Those two Ash drivers close as ever, 300ths of a second separating them. But they did look to put in the strongest laps, I'd say, through that first section of it, through those first runs, giving the tyres that they're on.
Yeah, here comes Sevi though, through the hotel section. Keeps it very nicely on the track. You can actually run all the way to the wall at that corner, risk the damage. He runs a bit wide at the penultimate corner. That could have invalidated, but we saw him do that in the last session as Rodriguez goes on to pole position. Sevi goes 5th place for now, just behind Harry. Very, very close between those two, but Harry's still 3 tenths behind Jacob, so a lot of time to find for him. Everyone else is in the pits except from Evolution. All the guys that haven't set laps in the pits except from the Red Bull, who is on his out lap, so we won't be seeing a lap from him for a little bit.
I'm so glad that in the chat, Larkin has said, nah, there's no rain at all. Who do we trust? Who do we trust, guys? Come on. So we're going into this race a little bit in the dark. We have no idea what the weather's going to be, but I guess that's a good thing.
Oh, no, we know what the weather's going to be. Okay, it's cleared now. All three of them have come out and said no rain. So I was basically, I knew the weather, but I just wanted to keep it suspense. Yeah, I knew it was no rain, definitely.
Oh, okay.
I worked it out from the last session, basically, because J Cole basically just put in the chat. Shall I? Does someone want to tell Tam, or do I do it? Shall I do it? So.
Oh, I see. So is this?
I just went, nah, leave it.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of this. This is outrageous. Anyway, the Red Bull of Evolution preparing himself for the big braking zone at turn 8. Now breaking 100-meter board hard down into second gear. Try not to take. You can take that curve if you want, but he doesn't take it particularly much. Trying to keep the car as stable as he can. As he was a little bit late to open the DRS, but he's now in overtake mode, going all out. Down he goes, down in a turn 11 and the last sector of the lap. Misses the apex a little bit, gets into second gear to rotate the car, runs out wide onto the outside curve. Now braking, keeps it in, or puts it down into third gear last minute as he rounds turn 14, down to 15, 16, hard braking zone at 17, into the hotel section. Puts it down in the second gear, rotates the car up into third now for this final complex. Goes under the hotel, right up onto the white line. As he comes out of 18, but I think he's just about got away with it now into these last two corners. Uses as much of the track on the entry and the exit as possible. Gets a bit of oversteer, just keeps it on the track. Now Evolution around the final corner, keeps it in fourth gear up to the line. What's the time going to be? It's 35.4. He goes bottom for the moment, so he's going to have to find his room to improve. Meanwhile, Gameaholic, Tegabe, and Owello have all managed to get out of the pits, and now they seem to be on their laps. So we'll see how they get on.
Yeah, Evolution really looked like he was struggling just for turning. Really struggling with understeer, to be honest. So you might want to look at that. Obviously, these cars being under park firmware, they can't change much. But what they can change is the front wing. So you might want to look at that, just upping it slightly if he's struggling to turn in. But as we're watching, Gameaholic now comes through towards the marina. And the double right, of 15, 16. Down towards the hotel complex, under the hotel. Oh, there you go, he slides through 18. Don't know if he's invalidated, but that won't have done him any good as he comes towards the penultimate corner now, and he will stay out through 21. What will the lap time be from Gameaholic? Will it be invalid? No, it's not, and it is third place, but still, not the kind of times he was setting in the last session, so we'll have to wait and see for that.
In the last session, he was in the very low 34s, so I think we'll be seeing an improvement from Gameaholic, but judging by the fact that I've now been tricked into thinking that there's rain, which is absolutely brilliant, I was actually expecting a lot more ultra-soft times, but it seems like a lot of these drivers are committing to the two-stop strategy. So they're not confident in their ability to look after the tyres, and they're just going to go a bit more cautious, perhaps, on the strategy. Meanwhile, watching the Ferrari of Tegabe aggressively turns in to turn 18, enter 19, a bit more conservative, hard on the power now, as he revs it out, puts it up into 6th gear, down into 4th, with a penultimate corner, big kick of oversteer, and he does actually come into the pits, but it's Wello who does the fastest lap, 34.4. Not a bad time for him. We're starting to find a little bit of time. In this session, he goes just ahead of Rodriguez, who's lining himself up for another lap. The Mercedes over the line as he prepares turn 1, down in the 4th gear, exits, runs a little bit onto the curb, but he'll just about get away with it now. 2 flat out corners there. It looks like the rear end's a little bit skatey there through turn 3, but he's able to keep it together as he goes into the second sector.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment. Hypersoft tyres. If everyone... Well, if most of the people go for Hypersoft, as you see, you have 6 people that have set laps on Hypersoft. Well, 7 people, including Evolution, but not. He's not really. Well, actually, no, that's what he's got fitted. No. So you've got 4 people who've actually done their best laps on Hypersoft. You have a lot of people thinking about doing the Hypersoft. If a lot of people do the Hypersoft, there's no point in going for the Ultrasoft, Supersoft, because really, if you do that, you're just going to be further down the grid, and you're just going to be stuck behind people. If you go for the Hypersofts, you're going to be further up the grid, you can have more chance of battling these people, And if everyone's doing the two-stop, you might as well go for it as well. There's no point in risking getting a puncture while people are doing two-stops. So yeah, I expect if more people go for the hypersofts, I expect pretty much everyone to go for them, but it's still halfway through the session, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, you do have to be flexible with your strategy. You can't, like, if everyone else is going for one strategy, you might as well just not split it and go harder on the compound, because then you can qualify lower down, you're more risk of a puncture, as you said. So that's going to prove to be interesting. This Rodriguez gets a big snap of oversteer off the final corner, but he does go fast, 34.0. So we're starting to really get into the quicker times now. I was expecting to see some times in the 33s. Maybe we could be seeing that. But yeah, with all these guys going on the hyper, I'm expecting a lot of the grid to smack on a set of the Hypersoft tyres and put in their best possible laps at the end.
Yeah, there are actually a lot of people coming out onto the track now. Evolution's decided to put on a set of Hypersofts. Jake on the Hypersofts, Gameaholic on the Hypersofts, but he's in the pit actually. So who else we got? Sevi's out there on the Supers. Joss on the Ultras, Energetics on the Ultras, yeah, and Evolution on the Hypers. So it is still a split pack, so we'll have to wait and see, but still 6 minutes, so a lot can change.
There's another one.
Another one? Oh,
there's another mention of, we'll have to wait and see, but Joss does a really impressive lap of 34.3 on the Ultras. That's a flyer from the Haas driver. And that shows that he has room to improve and can get well into the 33s on the hypers if he's able to replicate that kind of lap. But so his teammate Energetics has got a bit of a marker to put down these two Haas drivers. They always seem to run very similar strategies in qualifying. So we'll see how the second place in the championship contender is able to get on as he goes around turn 18 there. A little bit wide of the apex, but it's not really going to cost him much time. Now from the 90 bucket up quite kind of close to the wall. Now use as much of the track as you can. Turn 20 out onto the outside curb, just about keeps it on the track. Uses a lot of the turn and goes straight across the inside. He is going to pit. So he bails out at that one right at the last second. Quite dramatic fashion. So I'm expecting maybe him to put on the Hypersoft because he won't have another set of those Ultras left now.
Yeah. Just to anyone watching, I don't say it on purpose, but and you've really confused me when you're going, there's another one. I was looking around like, it's another Hypersoft runner. What do you mean? But no, I don't say it on purpose. But I'm watching Evolution. No, he goes into the pit, so he's bailed off the Hypersofts. Maybe thinking he goes in now. He's got time to put on a fresh set. We have Tiggerby out on track. He's out on the Supersoft tyre, so let's see what Tiggerby does as he comes up to the hairpin now. Onto the straight. But yeah, there's 3 people yet to set a time. One of them, the champion, Larkin, still in the pit, so I don't actually think he's come out of the pit yet. So we'll have to wait. No. We'll have to see what he does. See, I'll switch it up this time. It's so natural. But Tiggerby, yeah, he does run a bit wide out of 9. But he just about gets away with that, I think. And he'll run down to the turn 11 corner now.
We'll have to wait and see how you get on with your challenge of mixing it up. But the Ferrari man exits turn 40, gets right up on the outside curb, big snap of oversteer, and that's going to cost him time. The traction not quite there from those Supersoft tyres. Of course, the hardest compound available, so he's not going to be getting the grip that he perhaps wants. But he's going to continue on through underneath the hotel, puts it down in the 3rd gear, a little bit wide of the apex, but he's now going to try and make up for it. Last 2 corners now. It doesn't look like he's pushing particularly hard. Yeah, he is going to dive into the pits, which is probably quite wise, because if he went out for another lap, what would have to be his in lap, he wouldn't be able to set time. But the champion is out on the track after sitting in the pits the whole time, Larkin on an out lap. It seems like no one's really on a flyer right now, so it looks like it's just that build up. The final flying laps where these guys are going to put in the best laps they possibly can.
Sorry, No. I'm not getting drawn into that trap today. Let's not make this political, old school, please. And I'm not saying what you want me to say. But yeah, everyone is coming out on those Hypersoft tyres, except Shepalele, who's on the Super Softs, and Larkin on those Ultra Softs. The championship, well, the champion is out on the Ultra Softs. Tiggerby is going for the Ultra Softs as well. So there's going to be 3 cars out there, not on the Hypersofts, but everyone else is committed to the Hypersofts now. Everyone else is already set a lap, have they? No, they haven't. I lied again. Joss hasn't set a lap on the Hypersofts, but he's fairly high up there. And J. Cole hasn't set a lap on the Hypersofts either, with Energetics and Evolution as well. But they are definitely bankers, I would think. But yeah, a lot of people out on them now. Tiggerby's still not out of the pits, actually. I think, yeah, he's coming out now. So everyone out on track except from Sebi, who once again retired in the pit lane. Don't know who is the first one on the lap. Well, Gamerholic's on the lap, so we'll go with Gamerholic up through turn 3.
As he prepares himself now to go into the middle sector, the Cyberman down in the 3rd gear, trying to take a little bit of curve there. Through turn 5 now, breaks down. Does he put it in 1st gear to rotate the car? Yes, he does. Now exits, power on down the longest straight that this circuit has to offer. The DRS coming up now. He puts up into overtake mode now as he shifts up 8th gear. Is he going to grab it? There he is. Up into 8 now, coming down towards turn 8 as he goes hard on the brakes, all the way down, just about able to drag that one into the apex. Big snap of oversteer, gets right onto that curb, and that did unsettle the car a little bit. You saw the rear end kick out from the control of Gameaholic, but he's still going to keep going now as he goes into the final sector. Hard on the brakes once again, keeps it in 3rd gear. Now take as much of the curb as you possibly can without getting a bit of a slide on from getting unsettled the car. He takes a lot of curb on the inside at 14, but he's able to keep it clean. Now here comes Gameaholic into the final complex. Slow speed corners there. 3rd gear. Through turn 17 is J. Cole, does a 33.8. That is an impressive showing from him. And of course he was currently sitting on pole in the last session, so he has set down a marker. Is Gameaholic going to be able to get down that marker? Energetics has not been able to beat that time from J. Cole, but it's Gameaholic up to the line. He doesn't move up much at all. So it looks as though we're just looking around. Yoss, though, he did an incredible lap of 34.3 on those ultras. He's now on the hypers and charging down into the final few corners.
Oh, there was nearly a massive collision between the 2 Force Indias on the straight. I think J. Cole might have been given Larkin a little bit of slipstream. Larkin's lap was absolutely terrible. He's had to go for a second one, but J. Cole definitely not on a quick lap. He still holds that pole position, and I think he will hold on to that just purely on tyres. He has got one over on energetics, but it's not done yet. Obviously, he's got 17 points to close up to Harry, 11 on energetics. So as it stands, energetics is taking that 2nd place. But this is only qualifying. Larkin making his way through into this final sector round. Turn 15, 16 into 17, hard braking, very difficult corner to spot your braking for, as you're still turning right. Into 18 now, under the bridge of the hotel, and now onto the final 2 corners. What can Larkin do? Can he pull himself into the top 10? No, he goes into the pit, so Larkin will be starting from outside the top 10. We have 2 Ferraris to come, though. I think Tiggerby is completely backed off. I don't know if he'll set a lap. There's a Merc in a wall. That is Rodriguez in the wall, and Tiggerby runs wide. Chapalele didn't set a lap. Tiggerby, this might be invalid as well. It is. So Larkin in 11th, not a bad position, but in front of him, there's only one. Wait, there's 2 people inside the top 10 that have not used the Hypersofts, which is they're in quite a good position compared to Larkin, I'd probably say, and they are Sevi, who we know has the pace. Has the pace. And the other one was Evolution in 10th place. So we'll have to watch out for those guys in the race. But Tam, I'll let you go through the grid.
Yeah, J. Cole takes pole position, as he probably should have in the last session, so he's able to keep that going there ahead of Energetics and Yoss. I was expecting maybe a little bit more from Yoss in that final run after his blistering lap on the Ultras, but he wasn't able to quite deliver. Rodriguez with one of his better qualifying results in 4th, not bad from him, just ahead of Harry. Kevin is recent form not too bad in 5th, just had a Willow in 6th. Gameaholic, the leading Alfa Romeo, and the only Alfa Romeo on the grid in 7th ahead of Extrema, and then Sevi, Evolution, and Larkin all starting on those ultra soft tires unless Larkin wants to choose a different strategy. And then the two Ferraris were unable to set a time. What would they do in terms of their tire strategy for the race?
That's an interesting one. We saw Rodriguez just leave the session just before the race. He was actually in 4th place, so it was a very, very good qualifying for him. But unfortunately, I don't think he'll be able to make the grid. So there is one less position, which actually moves Larkin into the top 10, but with brand new tyres. So, yeah, just more places for him. And, crucially, for that 2nd place, it moves Harry up a position. I can't remember where he was. I think he was 7th?
5th.
5th. He's now 4th. Which...
Yeah.
He will be holding on to it as it stands, but 28 laps exist between him and that 2nd place in the championship. Plus, he has to contend with a very dangerous Force India starting down in 11th. Rodriguez, see there, isn't on the grid, so Rodriguez will not be in this race. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, he also has to contend with the 2 Hasses in front of him.
Good pun, I enjoyed that.
It didn't
he
make
has
sense.
to contend.
Has to. Wait, what?
Yeah, so
It does.
with that disqualification, well not disqualification, that disconnection from Rodriguez, it has put most of those people in that 2nd place fight near the front of the grid, Energetics alongside Jaco. That's going to be one to look out for sure. Is he going to be able to jump the Force India off the line potentially? I'm going to look at the tyre choices for those outside the top 10. All of them, all 3 of them, have decided to fit those super soft tyres, so they're going to go deep into the race. So we've got an interesting prospect in store here. I need an interesting count, honestly, but it's Energetics breaks the DRS forwards, yeah. But we've got the top 8 who will probably be going for 2-stop based on their tyre choice, because I think it's near impossible to do a 1-stop with them. But all the cars behind will be expected to do a 2-stop. And so that's going to make things very intriguing for this race. We're going to see a mix of strategies, and we know how Sevi in particular has been able to make those alternate strategies work very well in these last few races. So he is going to be one to watch, I think, as the leading Ultrasoft runner, as he might have retired on purpose actually at the end of that session just to not start on those hypers. So we've got a mix of strategies here. Jaco, pole position ahead of Energetics, and they begin to line up on the grid. The Force India takes them round, and he's doing everything he can with pole position to get that P2 in the championship, but his rivals are going to be breathing down his neck the whole race. It's going to be an enjoyable one. Here they come, lining up on the grid for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
And this is the man to watch. Down in P11, it should become P10. But Larkin is the man to watch for this race. A lot of overtakes he has to make to get up to where he's been so often this season at P1. But as the lights start to build, we have the other Force India on pole. Jaco on pole. 5 red lights, and they are out. And we are go here in Abu Dhabi for the final race of the season. And Energetic's got a very good start up the inside of Jaco. Jaco is going to sweep round the outside off the track slightly. And Josh is going to take that position when Energetic. So the Haas have swapped. Ferrari's battling in the background. Larkin managed to get himself up to 7th place already. Very good start from the champion. But Jaco leads us away.
Harry battling away with Willow Wills for P4 and P5. The Red Bull at the inside of the hairpin at 7, and they've got Extrema breathing down their neck, but it's a good start from Larkin certainly behind. He's already moved up to 7th, and of course on those super soft tyres, going to go deep into the race. As further down, looks like the main point of interest in the midfield is Extrema, makes a 3-wide move down the inside into turn 8. Is he going to be able to get it done? Willow backs out of the move. Harry holds it around the outside, gets into P4, but now he's got his work cut out, and it's not over yet. Extrema gets really good traction coming off of turn 9, and he's going to go side by side with Soroso. going down into the last sector. Also, Larkin is going to be challenging Willow Wolves in the background. But the side by side, P4, Extreme on the inside. How's he going to be able to get it done? Harry hangs it round. They come together slightly, and that's Willow. There might be shaping up a move on the tower. Also, down the inside he goes on the sister team, and they're going to go wheel to wheel. Around turn 15, Willow gets in front. Harry does have to back off, but it's not the start the Taurus would have wanted. It's been even worse. Diving down the inside is Larkin. He forces his way through. Evolution's off the track. It's going mad in the midfield. The Ferrari's still at the back of the field, but currently Jaco leads it. But Yoss putting him under all sorts of pressure at the end of the first lap.
Yeah, all this battling in the midfield from 4th downwards. There's a gap of 2.5 seconds between Energetics in 3rd and Extrema in 4th. Actually, timing's glitching out slightly, no? Yeah, I think the timings are glitching out slightly. I think it is 2.5 seconds, but it's reading at about half a second, so I don't know what's going on there, but a lot of ground for them to make up already on the front 3, as Joss right on the back of the Force India of J. Cole down the straight. No DRS this lap, but DRS will be activated next time around as Josh is getting closer down into turn 8. Doesn't go for it, nearly hits the back of Force India, so you'll have to watch that in the future laps.
Yeah, I'm also getting a bit of glitching with the timing, but we're going to have to go old-fashioned and just look at the action of the cars on the track. And the closest battle at the moment is between Harry, who's lost places at the start, and he's trying to find up Gameaholic. The Cyberman moves to the inside, going into the 3rd sector at turn 10, forces his way at the inside. Harry's not going to give up. The big slide from the Cyber, and Harry gets him plenty of space. He must have had the foresight there. Saw the Cyber driving, and then forced off the track is Harry by Gameaholic, the Dutchman. Not taking it easy with him. These guys going absolutely crazy. They're battling away so hard and just losing so much time. I'm not sure if they're exactly the smartest the way to go about things. Yoss is taking the lead meanwhile from Jaco, so we missed that. I'm not sure if you caught it.
Oh, Sebi! Oh, Jaco! What's happened there? I didn't see that.
Jaco, he's gone off on the run towards the final corner. He must have oversteered it into the wall. Jaco fighting for the lead of this race, and it's not the first time that's happened to him this season. And Harry looks like he's come into the pits. He must have picked up damage because he was struggling so much, but the battle enrages in the way in front of Evolution, as it looks like the gaps have managed to finds himself on the podium. So it's been a great start from him, but he's almost got the Haas drivers in perfect position. And what this means, J. Cole's chances of getting P2 or P3 in the championship are gone. So now it's up to Yoss, who I believe is 15 points behind. He's now got his chances of trying to get that 4th place, although in a good position with Harry out for points after an early pit stop. He puts on a set of the Super Softs, so is he going to try and stretch it to the end of the race? That's going to be difficult for him, but he's going to give it all he's got. But Yoss in a good position, leading the race on lap 3.
As it stands, it will be Larkin, followed by Energetics, Harry. Then, no, actually, no. Wait. Yes, it will be Larkin, Energetics, Harry, in that order for the top 3. Then Joss, then J. Cole. So J. Cole actually losing a position in the championship. He had a very strong chance at actually taking 2nd from this race, but I think, as it stands, he will be coming away with 5th place. That's how tight it is between 2nd and 5th. But we're watching Gameaholic here, the furthest down of all the Hypersoft runners, and really struggling, 3.5 seconds back from Larkin now. So those Hypersofts are actually, well, they're really struggling now, and Larkin in a very good position, about 6-7 seconds off the lead. So see what he can do.
Yeah, Larkin has managed to navigate that start very well, and he's put himself in a strong position, about 2 seconds off the Red Bull of Willow Wolves ahead. But they're all beginning to stack up behind Gameaholic, and of course maybe he's loaded up his tires, spun up his tires, because he does seem to be struggling a little bit. But he could be helped out here if Sevi is able to have a run on Evolution. The gap between them only 3/10, so it's very possible that there could be a change here for P7. Evolution knows the threat, moves over to the inside, then moves back. If Sevi has a little look to the inside, doesn't commit on the brakes, so Evolution holds that position, runs wide coming out of turn 9. Energetics is also chasing down his teammate, only 0.3 of a second behind, and course, there may not be any team orders at Haas. We'll have to wait and see. There's one from me, but Sevi wasn't quite able to get close enough to see Evolution and couldn't quite get it down the inside of turn 10. He's going to have to think again at trying to navigate a move, but Energetics looks quick as he chases down his teammate. He's got a fight to try and get that P2 in the championship, and he is in a very strong position, as I believe he was only 6 points behind Harry going into this race. So even though he's behind his teammate, he's still in a great position to take that P2 in the championship.
This is the thing now. The Hasses are both fighting for position in the championship, but as it stands, they're both getting it. With Harry being out the points, J. Cole being out the race, they're both getting at least a position. Well, the Wolves is lagged out, disconnected from the session. He was running in 4th, so that's going to give Larkin another free position. Larkin, he basically has a free run to get a win here. He doesn't have to help his teammate. With his teammate out the race with a crash that I didn't actually see. But actually, this is an interesting one. Evolution weaving across the track. That was 2 moves from Evolution. He doesn't have the DRS. Sevi up the inside of turn 8, and he's not going to get it. Evolution's going to hang it around the outside, and there's Tiggerby lurking in the background on the super soft tires. Sevi's going to have the DRS now, down to turn 11. Can Sevi get it done? This time he can. Tiggerby round the outside. He's trying to squeeze the Red Bull round the outside. Can Tiggerby get it done? No, I don't think he can. Evolution picked up a penalty, as did Gamerholic there, but Tiggerby behind. But Sevi gets past the Red Bull.
Yeah, good move from Sevi. I don't think he was happy with the defensive moves from Evolution, so he had to get that done quickly. Gamerholic, though, has managed to gap these guys in the process, but picking up a penalty himself, so it's not great for him. But yeah, as you said, Larkin in such good position, still only 7 seconds off the lead, as Gamerholic moves past Willow's ghost car. But yeah, Larkin is just, once again, he always just seems to make the best, even though he didn't have a great qualifying. He's just been able to make it work, as he always seems to do. So Larkin in a strong position. Yoss potentially getting his teammate out of the DRS range as they go over the line. That's the DRS activation point. As not sure what's going on there, but someone else has just joined the session. But Energetics did just about get DRS off his teammate. So swap between the Red Bulls as Willows continues to fall down the field. He was in a good position as well. That's really unfortunate for him to lag out, as we have had some connection issues so far with Rodriguez and now with Willow. But looking at more at what's going on the track, Tiggerby's got a bit of a run on the Red Bull of Evolution, has a look to the inside, doesn't quite go for it. He's got another chance though, coming down the back straight. The second of these straight is DRS open. Is he going to be close enough? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I completely forgot where my trial of thought was. Oh yeah, I remember now. Talking about Larkin. Larkin is lurking, waiting people to make a mistake. I've been thinking of that for ages. Just thinking of the right time, and that definitely wasn't it, because he's nowhere near people at the moment. He's about 2 seconds clear, but you look at Tiggerby, and he's just waiting. He's waiting to pounce on this Red Bull. He's like, I was gonna make a Red Bull analogy then. Like, he's like something waiting to find its prey. But then, who eats a bull? Good question that is. But look at Ferrari's all over the back of the Red Bull. It's like real life, but not for 8th and 7th normally, as Energetics is actually the first one to pit on the hyper soft tyres. He will come out the pits, you think, ahead of Harry, but we'll have to wait and see. But the Ferrari's still stuck behind Evolution here, so yeah.
The Evolution has lost time pretty quickly to that Williams Sevi, who's gapped this train all the way. So it's Sevi pulling away quickly and chasing down the Haasman of the Cyberman of Gamerholic, but the two Ferraris still stuck up behind. Is it going to be for much longer though? As Tiggerby now picks up the slipstream, is Evolution going to defend to the inside? He goes into the middle of the track. That's not going to do much to prevent Tiggerby from making the move out the inside. Goes into turn 8. It's going to be a fairly simple and academic move for the Ferrari. Evolution is going to have the DRS though. He is in a high ERS mode, where Tigby is a bit higher on that going in hot lap, but it looks as though it's not quite going to make it. It has a little look to the outside going into turn 10, but can't quite get it done. Runs a little bit wide, and that's now going to put Chevrolet a little bit closer. So he's now lurking, but further road, Sevi showing impressive pace at this moment in time, as well as Larkin chasing down the Extrema. So the men on the harder compounded tyres, they seem to be coming in to their own now as Jos pits from the lead.
Yeah, Sevi, actually, I wanted to say something. Evolution, even though he's on the Ultrasoft, really struggling. His Gameaholic also pulls into the pit, so Extrema is staying out there on those Ultrasoft tyres, but he has got Larkin right on the back of him. He's lost a lot of time on those Ultrasofts in the last 2 laps to Larkin. Now the gap is pretty much nothing as they come towards the chicane. There was a bit of contact, but no, Extrema's...
No.
I don't know.
I think it's his Hypersoft tyres have just given up. He just got a slide on out of turn 3, and there's not a corner where you usually see people making mistakes, but it does seem like his tyres, he's stretched them 1 lap too far. You can just see how much he's sliding around. Jos has managed to overcut his teammate. He's still out ahead, only by half a second though, so there's not much in it. But Chipolele is now going to shape up a move on Evolution to the inside, down the straight. It's a nice and simple for the Ferraris. Evolution going to try and come back. It seems like he's already ran out of grip on his ultras. He just doesn't seem to have much to fight with against these guys. Losing another position in this race. Is he going to be able to fight back though? He's pretty close to Chipolele, but I don't think he's going to be quite there unless he goes very ambitious. Moves to the inside though. He's going to go late on the brakes as well. Evolution tries to take back the position. He's a little bit out of control on the brakes, so still wheel to wheel, and Evolution is able to force his way back through. I don't think Chipolele is going to be too happy with that. And now the 2 Haas drivers who were in control of this race now beginning to climb up on the back. Oh, as Extreme has picked up a 10-second penalty, which must have been a huge track extension for him, but he's got almost no control of the car, and this is not helping that Williams of Sevi, as he's now getting stuck right up behind and nowhere to go.
Yeah, these Haas drivers, this is actually a perfect situation for them. Energetics, the second of these Haas drivers, is some 17 seconds up the road from Harry. Harry just inside the points in 10th place. They are miles ahead, and look at Jos. He's all over the back of Chepolele, and Chepolele's been looking like the one that's going to make the move out of all of these guys. He can't get past. Well, he can get past the Red Bull. He can't make it stick as Energetics goes very wide at the chicane, but he can afford it. There's this battle. Jos hits the back of Chepolele. That could be damage. We'll have to wait. No. We'll have to see.
Good job stopping yourself.
We'll have to see what happens. That's pretty much the same thing. But Chepolele finally goes for the move. Look at Jos. He's got the overspeed. Can he get down the inside of the Ferrari? No, he can't. Round the outside, though. Very, very good defensive driving from Evolution. Manages to get it round the outside. He's going to force the Ferrari round the outside towards turn 11. Can he still be in this fight down in turn 11? I think he's been overtaken. Jos is looking to get the move on all 3 of them. There's a sandwich. Massive sandwich. That Haas is not going to go round. Oh, the Haas's have spun each other. That's Jos off. Energetics, slight contact with his teammate. Jos off on the grass. You could just see that happening as soon as they went 3 wide. You could see something happening. And it's all Energetics just defending very, very aggressively within the rules, but very aggressively. And he's just bottled it up, kind of like. It's all bottling up around him. He slides off turn 20 again. Ferrari's still behind.
Yeah, Chepolele has lost contact with his teammate, and I think he knows he has to get a move on. He has a little look to the inside of turn 1. Doesn't quite make it work, but yeah, that looked like Energetics was just caught out by just how much these guys were slowing down because of going 3 wide, and hit his teammate off, which is not what you want to do, but I think it was a bit of a race against it. He also is frustrated being stuck behind. That's Energetics is a little bit frustrated getting stuck behind. Gets on the inside of Chipolele, gets through into 5th place, just ahead of the Ferrari. And Chipolele, man, his race was looking pretty decent at one point on those Supersoft tyres, but it's gone down a bit downhill for him. He's going to have to work his way back through, but now Energetics, is he going to go for a move on Evolution? He's within range, but he knows he's got a race win here, so he's just got to take it nice and easy and keep it calm and make a nice easy move on the straight. DRS is wide open. I don't think Evolution, he's defended really well this race, but I don't think he's going to have much to fight with. The Energetics is going to clear him well before they go into the break, and he moves through up into P4. He's got nice clean air ahead of him as Yos. It's like he's just about recovering from that spin. He's now got his work cut out. He's got a 3-second gap ahead of him to try and catch the cars in front.
That's going to not have done his tyres any favours. They are 1 lap fresher than Energetics, but that's because he pit 1 lap later, and that means in the next stop he will pit 1 lap later, and his tyres will be about the same wear, purely because of that spin. That's not going to have done his tyres any favours at all. Going back to the spin, I don't think there's anything Energetics could have done. I think he was just, caught off guard, as you said. Those 3 going side by side, and I think Josh just had to kind of pull out of it, and Energetics had nowhere to go. So I don't think there's going to be much done on that. But Energetics managed to get past the ball. He is only 7 or 8 seconds off the lead of this race. You can see Larkin there going down the main straight. But Energetics doing a very good job. And Joss now back within DRS of the Ferrari of Chapelele, who is right on the back of Evolution again. So can we see a move this time down into turn 8 as the Ferrari pulls to the inside? Now we've seen him make this move stick down into turn 8 quite a few times. But oh, Josh really overcooks it on the brakes. Nearly goes straight into the back of the Red Bull. But this is where we've seen Chapelele get a bit annoyed with Evolution. Evolution manages to get him back into turn 11, but not this time around. Chapelele holds on to the position, so he makes it stick here on lap 11. He's been trying that move for about 5 laps now since his teammate got past. He's now lost about 7 seconds to his teammate, so that is a lot of ground to make up for Chapelele.
And his teammate just moved past Sevi on harder compound tyres. Looks like those Ultra Softs are beginning to give up on these guys that started on them, but Sevi still running a decent race, but Larkin in a good position. Tigany on the charge though, he has shown really impressive pace, but as Yoss tries it running outside of Evolution and the Red Bull bails out, goes into the pit lane, so Yoss is released. He's now got to try and get past Chapelele. He's got about 5 seconds, about 5.5 seconds to his teammate up the road, so he has got to push, and if he wants any chance of winning this race. But the interesting thing is, while Energetics is technically in the net lead of this race, you've got to remember, the cars ahead of him have got just as many pit stops to make as he has. They've all got 1 more stop to make, as does he. So Energetics is not out of the woods yet. He hasn't got to pick his way through these cars ahead of him, and of course Larkin, the next car up the road. So Energetics has got all the work to do if he wants to take this race win. But he is going to have the tyre advantage all the way through. So he could have a look as Yoss down the inside of Chapelele. The Ferrari driver doesn't fight it too hard. There's a bit of contact on the exit of 8, but it's a nice easy move for Yoss. Now he's got to get his head down as his teammate's going to get held up a little bit in the DRS train. It could give him a chance to close up that gap, as I believe he has recovered those tyres now. He may have overcooked them slightly, but he still seems to be running good pace. But yeah, this train now beginning to build up behind Tigamy. Sevi's kept in the DRS range, but it's Energetics that's going to be the one to watch as he closes up onto the back of the Williams.
I saw something. Joss, when he span, the next lap after that, he set the fastest lap of Grand Prix. So he's clearly, what I'd say, he's the quickest man on track. And he's got 4.5 seconds to find. Sevi goes into the pits on lap 12. So he's going to the end now, you would think, on the super soft compound of tyres. Everyone else, I would think, is going for the ultra softs. The Hasses will have to pit again because they have not used 2 compound tyres. And I think they'll be going for ultra softs for their second stop. As will, I think, Tigamy, who is just ahead of Energetics, and Larkin 3 seconds up the road. That basically cancelled out any tyre advantage. They'll all pit around the same lap, I would think. It makes no sense for these super soft runners to go further than they need to, purely because their tyre wear is going to be so bad that just running on them tyres will be no use at all. So they will pit at the earliest opportunity they can to put on the ultra softs.
Yeah, that is a good shout. Certainly, these guys don't want to get undercut by guys picking early. As Tegame, though, is not done yet with those with those supers, because he's defending quite hard from Energetics. This is helping Yoss a lot. Energetics has got to get moved on. He goes for it into turn 12, or sorry, turn 14. So, but he forces his way past. A little bit of contact with the Ferrari, but he does get through. Now, his task is to hunt down the race leader Larkin, and a bit of a prospect building up between potentially what will be the top two in the Drivers' Championship when it's all said and done. So Energetics, so one of the fastest cars on track at this stage on those hypers, is going to be pushing, and closing on Larkin ahead. So we've got a battle brewing between those two. And further back, Cipollelli on those supers looks like he is beginning to struggle. Of course, he has been stopped behind. He's lost. He's just got picked up a penalty, but he's lost so much time in traffic compared to other cars. And now he's got that Sauber Gameaholic, who's already pitted, chasing him down. So we could be seeing another battle brewing between these two.
Funny enough, Gameaholic is also on the 2-stop. He's only been on his tyres for he's been on his tyres for 6 laps on the ultra soft, so he will probably pit again, maybe for a set of hypes towards the end, but he has to stay in the fight. And obviously he's on the back of Cipollelli right now, down the straight. You think there should be an easy move as he opens the DRS. He's going to fly past that Ferrari. So the junior team, I guess, of the Alfa Romeo, flying past the Ferrari there into turn 8, and that move is done. But will Cipollelli have anything to say down the second straight after the first? Opens the DRS, and I think he's a bit too far back to make, get the position back off the Sauber. Oh, the Alfa Romeo. I called it the Alfa Romeo and then called it Sauber. Who knows at this point? Alfa Romeo, Sauber. That's what it's actually.
It seems as though there is actually one driver that started on the Hypersoft tyres that is going to try and do a one-stop. That is extreme, but we saw him push those Hypers really far and lose seconds a lap at the end of the stint. But he's actually gone onto the Supers on the second stint, so he is going to try and stretch them to the end of the race. We'll see how he gets on. He's got about 14 or so laps to dig in and try and find as much as he can, but Energetics on the charge, chasing down Larkin. Larkin hasn't gone particularly quick in these last few laps because he's been losing out to Tegebe as well, so he's maybe taking a bit too much out of his tyres, and I'll be expecting him to pit in the next couple of laps for sure, but you'll want to put up as much of a fight as possible to Energetics, and when he pits, try and undercut the Haas driver. But I expect both these guys to be pitting very soon, because Energetics you'd expect to start struggling as well in those hyper softs, but he has still got a chance at trying to get through on the Force India. Up into 8th gear, is he going to be close enough? I don't think so. Into turn 8, he hangs back for now, but if he's able to get good traction coming off of this corner, he might be in with a shot. It does get very good traction compared to Larkin. Larkin's tyres not delivering the grip that he wants as they run up towards turn 11. Energetics is going to have a go. Larkin, though, is going to defend feistily to the inside. Going into 11, Energetics goes a bit wide on the entry, tries to switch back underneath him, but can't get through. The champion holds on at the front of this race, but with Energetics bearing down on these two, will be going at it, and I suspect that they will be for the last stint as well. But Larkin's going to have his work cut out to keep him behind for this length of time. But Energetics continues to push, but he's just got to wait again, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Energetics pitting potentially even right now, as he's only getting held up right now. As Larkin darts across the track, he is going to pull in early, so he is going to stick on potentially a set of those ultras to try and get to the end. So he goes for the undercut on Energetics.
Josh follows in. So I was just going to say, Energetics pulling all that that time in on Larkin. Josh wasn't doing so, but then in the last lap or two, he really closed that gap to Tiggerby, and he's decided to go for the undercut on Tiggerby. Sticks on the ultra soft, but he's stuck in the garage. Oh no, he's gone. Just did a bit of a bug for me, but Josh is out. He's going to be near Harry. Is he going to be behind Harry? No, he's ahead. He's ahead of Harry, so he's cleared the Toro Rosso man, which is good for him. He needs to get out of that DRS, but he needs to make Harry get out of that DRS range on those cold ultras. It's going to be very close, but I think he's just done it. Now, only 2 seconds off Larkin. He has actually gained a lot of time in that pit stop. He was a bit further back than 2 seconds, and so he's really in this battle. We have to see what Energetics does now, but you think he has to react. He has to react and come in, surely.
Well, if Larkin lost a bit of time in that pit phase, it could be very useful for Energetics. If he pits right now, he could preserve the net lead of this race. But of course, we still have cars out there. Sevi has actually pulled an undercut. We know started on the Ultras, he's now on the Supers, and he is just under 3 seconds ahead of Larkin. So he is a factor as well in this race as it all builds up with the different strategies now merging with about 13 laps to go in this race. Energetics though, rounds the penultimate corner, he's got his ERS off, he does pit. Where is he going to merge? Relative to Larkin, relative to his teammate Yos. In comes Energetics, gets it stopped nicely for the pit lead, but Sevi and Extrema as well as a factor in this race, so everything building up. Energetics into the pits, see if the pit stops safe and sound. Is he going to get out in front of Larkin?
Larkin's at the final corner already. We'll have to wait and see. But Tiggerby actually stayed out. We'll have to see how long Tiggerby goes. As Sevi goes past the Haas. Haas has obviously got the shorter run under the track. Who's going to be ahead? I think Larkin's actually got this. Is he going to be ahead of his teammate though? It's going to be close between the two Haas's, but Energetic stays ahead of Josh. But look at the gap. It's only 0.4 of a second. It was nearly 2 seconds before the pit stop, so no, Energetics have lost a lot of time in that one lap alone. The gap between him and Larkin is 1.6 now. So yeah, this gap definitely the undercut has worked for those guys.
Yeah, monstrous undercut, but now Yos is going to be threatening his teammate. As Extrema was able to move past Shipolele, of course he's trying to get to the end. He's got a real task on his hands if he wants to do that, as he fends off the Ferrari going into 11. But now the two Haas drivers, I think they're going to go to war here as Larkin reels in Sevi. The two Haas drivers going into it down in the turn 11. Little look at the inside from Yos, but it's his teammate. He's not going to go all out. He's not going to go full aggressive, but he does pick up a penalty. The penalties could play a role. I've seen a couple of drivers pick them up. But Sevi, one of the factors, he's still got a chance of a good result, but he's now coming under increasing pressure from the charging force in of Larkin. Larkin still in with a shout of winning this race from 11th, or technically 10th, on the grid. Tiggerby pits from the lead. It was all building up.
Oh no, both Ferraris have pit at the same time. Shepelelli pulled into the pits as well. It's going to drop Tiggerby quite far back because he stayed out of that one lap. But he has got those fresh tyres. Harry comes into the pit, so Tiggerby's going to have clean air, 2 lap fresher on Larkin and Josh, and at least a 1 lap fresher on Energetics. Shepelele has lost time in that pit. Nearly hits the wall for his troubles on the exit. Evolution is still running down in 8th place, doing a decent job on that one-stop strategy. Actually, no, was he on the one-stop? He was. Only 3 drivers have done 2 stops so far, both the Hasses and Harry, so we'll have to see how that goes as Larkin gets past the Williams of Sevi down into turn 8.
So Larkin gets through, and it's crucial that he managed that, because now these two Haas drivers have got to get through quickly if they want to stay with the Force India. Of course, the Energetics does have a lap fresher tyres after just getting out in front of his teammate. But Yos does look quick. Of course, he was spun in a racing incident with his teammate, and he is trying to hunt him down. He was about 5 seconds behind him. Now that gap less than a second, but both of them are less than a second behind Sevi, who's beginning to struggle. He's got older tyres, harder tyres, but the man that's going to be struggling even more, and the man running in P2 in the net lead of this race, if he chooses to stay to the end, that is Extrema. Extrema sliding around, but Larkin is catching by well over a second a lap. He is caught right up to the back, and now these guys are beginning to build up as Energetics sets the fastest lap of the race as he closes down on Sevi. So all these battles brewing, but it's Sevi that looks like he's just struggling a little bit more. We've got another person that's joined the lobby. I'm not sure how this is happening, but Larkin continues to apply pressure, and I wouldn't expect Extrema's P2 to last for much longer, as is Sevi and P4 coming under pressure from the Haas drivers.
Yeah, there's something's gone wrong down at Ferrari. 7.4 seconds. Tiggerby was literally, I'm pretty sure he split I'm pretty sure he was in the middle of the Haas drivers, was he not? And now he's 7 seconds behind. So that staying out that like a couple laps more has really cost him. Yeah, something's gone wrong. I don't know what, but Extremer has been overtaken by Larkin. Extremer gonna have to go around the outside at turn 11. Who's gonna be able to make the move stick? The Force India driver, the champion, stays ahead. 5.4 seconds he has to close up to Gamerholic, but we think Gamerholic has to pit again. So that is the net lead for Larkin on lap 19. Sorry.
Yeah, expecting a pit stop in the next few laps from Gamerholic, which would hand the lead over to Larkin, but it's Energetics that looks rapid at this stage. He does look like the fastest car on track at the moment. It's the fastest lap in the last lap. He's got to clear Extremo as quickly as possible. Is he going to try and move into the last corner? It's a risky place to go for it. He does hang back, but Gamerholic does indeed go into the pit lane. So he may stick on the set of the Ultras and try and get to the end of the race, and potentially even the Hypers. But Energetics hasn't been able to get past Extremo as of yet, and this is all just allowing Larkin to pull out a gap. So it's looking very good for the champion to take yet another race win as Yoss.
Oh, there's collision. There's front wing gone. Energetics loses front wing. The spinning Mercedes.
Out.
Yeah, Extremer span at the top of turn 3, clipped the front wing of Energetics and went into the wall. So Energetics now missing a large part of his front wing on that left-hand side. Nothing he could have done, but the Merc just careering across the track has cost Energetics a lot of time, and Sevi goes up the inside, and I expect Josh to go round his teammate in a minute, but that has pretty much handed quite a comfortable lead to Larkin, with Energetics losing that big chunk of his front wing. So he's going to get the move back on Sevi here into turn 11. Sevi going to hang it round the outside actually. Who's going to stay ahead? The Williams driver is going to get forced out there. Oh. And Joss is going to go up the inside. They're going to be 3 wide into turn 14. Williams off the track. And I think that Energetic stays ahead there. He doesn't let his teammate go, so he's really committing to beating his teammate. But yeah, very dangerous from all 3 of them, but just a very unfortunate incident for Energetics to lose that piece of his front wing, and hopefully he doesn't have to pit because of it and he stays out. So
yeah, the frustration from that collision has definitely had an impact on Energetics. He was so aggressive with Sevi, pushed him almost into the wall coming out of turn 13, but they were just about able to survive and keep going. But Yoss, I don't imagine he's going to be sitting behind his teammate for long, and these guys have been together the whole race. They've already had one run in. I'm guessing they don't want another, so I don't expect Yoss to go too aggressive, but he's still going to want, if he has any chance of winning this race, and I believe he has penalties anyway. So I think Larkin is probably pretty comfortable at the moment in front, but Yoss, is he going to be able to challenge his teammate? DRS is going to be open. He's running pretty low on ERS though, so he might not be able to make too much of a challenge. Of course, he will have more downforce with more front wing. Energetics doesn't look like he's going to defend the inside too aggressively. Yoss has a little look to the inside, so doesn't go for it. Is he going to try it again? Energetics did take that curb coming out of turn 9. That could give his teammate, the Dutchman, a little bit of a toe. Here comes Yoss up to the inside. He goes down into turn 11. Energetics squeezes him. They almost come together on the straight. That would have been disaster once again for the Haas driver. So still sticky side by side. Energetics holds on ahead of his teammate, and he's not showing him any respect. These 2 boys, Yoss having to work. And of course, at the moment, he's on for potential P4 in the championship. He does have to outscore Jaco by 15 points. So he's currently in the position right now, but he does have penalties. So Energetic's not doing his teammate any favours as he continues to hold that second place on the road.
yeah, Gunter Steiner must be ripping his hair out, or should I say his moustache out, because because these 2 are battling. Pretty much, it looks like they're battling to the death, to be honest. These 2 are it's not gonna end well. But I don't know if you saw there, I saw a flash of red. And I saw that red Ferrari of Tiggerby 2.4 seconds back from Sevi now. So he is closing up rapidly with these 2 battling as Josh switches to the outside for the chicane. Down at turn 4, he's not going to be able to hold it, I don't think. This is just allowing Sevi to stay with them for now. And yeah, allowing Tiggerby to close right back up as they're going onto the straight out of the turn 7 hairpin. Who's going to be ahead? The Hasses go to war again. down the straight. Slipstream and DRS for Josh down the inside at turn 8 on the brakes. He's going to have that. No, he's not. Energetic still on the inside. Holds it. Contact. Energetic's bit wayward out of the corner, and Sevi's going to get passed into P3. Sevi with the DRS. So does Energetics, but who's going to be ahead? Oh, Sevi squeezes him right to the edge of the track. Round the outside of Josh. And that is P2 for Sevi. I did not see that coming. Sevi into P2. Josh down to P3. And Energetics, the big loser, down to P4. But look at Tiggerby. 2 seconds the gap. We'll have to make sure that... Well, we'll have to see what that... Yeah, I was going to do it again. We have to see how close that Ferrari does get. But he's really, really close in these couple final laps. There's contact. Josh. That's every round. That's every round in the wall.
Oh, Jos just goes into the side of him. I think he was just so frustrated. His teammate was putting up a fight. Sevi had got past with a brilliant move at turn 11, but I can't say. Jos usually ever the clean racer, but that was a mistake from him in my opinion. He just sent it up the inside of turn 19, not an overtaking move into there. And Jos, these two Haas drivers seem to be losing their heads a little bit at this point. They're just going at it and losing out. But Tiggerby has taken full advantage of this. Look where he is now. He's got a real chance for a podium here as he chases down Energetics. And Jos not too far up the road. So Tiggerby's got to get a move on here. Is he going to be able to grab that? Larkin has well and truly pretty much won this race now, just by staying out of trouble, really, as he usually does. But now, Energetics under pressure. We saw how hard he defended from his teammate. Is he going to defend as hard from Tiggerby? Tiggerby's got fresher tyres, 1 lap. Is he going to go for it? On the inside, he backs out of it on the brakes. Hangs back for now. Energetics is getting that DRS from Jos ahead. It's going to be really helping him out. As Gameaholic's also catching all of these guys, and he's got hypersoft tyres. He's also another one to watch. There are all these different strategies coming together. But Energetics using that DRS from his teammate to defend from Shibboleth, from Tiggerby. Tiggerby tries to get up alongside, can't quite do it. Coming round to turn 12. So Jos still out ahead, but I think Stewart's inquiry impending there based on that move on Sevi, but Tiggerby still stacked up behind that damaged and wounded Haas of Energetics. So is he going to go for a move sometime soon?
Yeah, I said it was hitting the... I said it was about to hit the... Well, get into the boil. And yeah, now it's completely gone with Energetics picking up that time penalty. Nothing Energetics has really done wrong in this race. He's just been caught up in incident with Streamer, and that's cost him a chance of the victory. His teammate, on the other hand, starting to lose his head a little bit with that incident. Energetics taking a very, very, very dangerous route across the bumps at the exit of turn 3. We've seen a few drivers in real life do that, and let's say not come out with 4 wheels on their car. Unfortunately, this is a game, and suspensions don't break in the game unless you collide with a wall or a stopped car. But there isn't going to be one. There isn't going to be a stopped car on the straight if Tiggerby can make a move like that. That was so close to the wall. Energetics tries to hang it around the outside, but he just hasn't got the grit to hang that around the outside of Tiggerby, and he's actually under attack from Energetics. Yes, he is. No, not Energetics. Energetics is under attack from Gameaholic. He moves past on the Hypersofts. Yeah, as you said, he's one to watch out for. He's kind of gone under the radar in this race, and didn't notice he put on the Hypersofts. He was very, very, very far back when he did so. Now he's right in the mix, about a second off the back of the Haas of Jost, so we'll have to wait and see.
There's another one, unfortunate there. Jos, I'm just checking the penalties. Jos has 2 penalties. As does Gameaholic. Tiggerby has just the 1, so he's in a great shout at getting this second position off of the Haas. Still Energetics hanging on to these guys as the penalties galore. Harry picks up 1. Energetics has 2 penalties as well. He's just picked up in these last few laps as he's been defending for his life, but ultimately it's not quite worked out for him. But yeah, Larkin is just, after it looked like he was going to have a bit of a fight on his hands, he's now 8 seconds ahead of these guys thanks to just the monumental amount of scrapping that's going on. And I feel so bad for Sevi though. Down in 6th place, he could have arguably had that P2. We saw him make that move on Jos, but Jos has got a fight on his hands with Tiggerby all over the back of him. The Ferrari man is going to open up the DRS, go down towards turn 8. now. Up to 8th gear now. Yoss moves to the inside. Looks like Tigby's going to be able to draw alongside. Is he going to be able to get ahead? And brings on Yoss very late on the brakes. Goes into the side of the Ferrari. They just about able to keep it going in the straight line, but Tigby gets through. That's a crucial move from him. Is Yoss going to strike back? He's got the DRS, but he's very low on the RS, as is Tigby. As Gameaholic closes on both of them. Tigby defensive to the inside. He doesn't want to give up that position. Nowhere for Yoss to go. He's Spock's on the outside. Tigby gets through. Now Gameaholic is the next man to challenge Yoss.
I don't know if you could just check. Savvy picked up a stop go for something. I don't know what. I just saw it flash up and he was just going around the track. I don't know if he cut a corner and got a stop go, but that's a bit bizarre. But here we have, yeah, Larkin, 8 seconds clear. Just that's pretty much, he's got the pace. It sums up why he is champion. He's got the pace and he keeps his nose clean. It's not one or the other, he's got both. And as you can tell, 8 seconds up the road, you don't do that by just avoiding incidents all the time. He has avoided the incidents, but he's also got the pace to pull away. He's actually getting close. The gap is actually coming down now between him and Tigby. But I don't know if Larkin's got any penalties. Gameaholic all over the back of Yoss, and I think Yoss is going to lose this podium position now. That he looked so strong from probably a victory in this race. It doesn't even look like he's going to come away with a podium. As the Sauber in the slipstream, Josh is going to pull to the inside again, and Gameaholic has already got him down into the braking zone. No chance for Josh, as he actually could get a run down the second straight here. He will have DRS, about 2 attempts back as he was on Tigby last lap. Is he going to get a move as Gameaholic moves to the inside? He's going to, oh, that was very, very, very late from Gameaholic. He's going to hold that position, but that was a bit dangerous from him. Weaving very aggressively in the middle of that, well, towards the end of that straight, but into P3 for the Sauber.
Yeah, absolutely crazy battling at the end of this race. It does look like Tigby is going to hold on to that second place spot. He is catching Larkin at quite a rate of knots, I have to say, but it looks like, oh, Gameaholic.
Oh.
Gameaholic disconnecting from a podium position. Another issue with the connections. Oh, that's so unlucky for him, because he was running a great race. His energetics looks like he's about to move past. Shipalili picks up a penalty. Sevi is going to move through as well, but yeah, that's bitterly disappointing for Gameaholic. He was in such good position.
I was about to mention before that disconnection as Energetics moves up into 4th place. When Energetics was in 5th, Harry was in 8th. The gap was 1. No, it wasn't. It was nothing. It was absolutely nothing. Both drivers were tied. Now, with Energetics moving past, he is taking 2nd place by 2 points over Harry. But if Harry's a very, very long distance back from Cepelele, and if Josh is getting, well, he's got a few penalties anyway, I think Energetics has got 2nd place, but there is still a lap and a bit to go of this final Grand Prix of the season, as Sevi is going to make his way past the ghost car of Gameaholic.
Sevi moves up into P5, but he will have expected more from this race. I think he'll have wanted to finish ahead of both of those Haas drivers. Arguably deserved to, but it's not quite worked out his way. Gameaholic, again, just pretty much nailed the strategy because he was able to stay out of all that battling, and it worked into his favour brilliantly. But he made his way through up into P3, but yeah, that disconnection has ruined his chances. Now he's got Shape, who looks like he's going to make his way past. He could have had a much better result as well today, of course getting held up in traffic for a long way of the race as Gameaholic's ghost car does actually pit. But Larkin, on his final lap of the season, he's on 9 straight podium finishes, so I reckon he just wants another here as he continues his way around. Tigby has gapped Yoss quite considerably, so it looks like both these Haas guys really struggling away now. But yeah, as this race begins to die down, I'm just going to go on board with Larkin. He's pretty safe in the lead of this race, just cruising, not going all out, and wrapping up yet another race win.
See, with Harry getting past Gameaholics Ghost Kart, he's got to watch out for penalties. If Evolution overtakes him on penalties, it's a different story. But we might have to be counting how many podiums people have.
Yeah, I
Because
believe
they'll be tied.
Energetics has 2 wins and Harry only has 1 though. That's what I think has gone on there. So Energetics, I do think, despite his scrappy race, I think he will still hang on to P2 in the championship. But the champion himself rounds his way around the final few corners, approaching the penultimate corner. He's just got to keep it clean, as he's done all season. He's scored points in every race, and that is going to continue. Larkin comes over the line to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix and wrap up the championship. He takes the win ahead of Tegebe. He also will round out the podium just ahead of his teammate. But yeah, scrappy race. A lot of incidents in the latter part of that Grand Prix.
Wait, Sevi now with the stop go. I thought if Sevi got past Energetics, it might be a different story. But here we go. Harry's going to cross the line, and without any movement, I think, yeah. P2 goes to Energetics, and P3 will be Harry. So Harry loses out on P2 in the final final couple of laps of the season. So it's so unfortunate for him, but still in the top 3. So well done to him. And there is your Larkin, the champion, with yet another win. That is only his 4th win of the season, actually. But as you said, that should be his 10th straight podium. He's got one from every single race since Hungary. Well, Hungary he won. Belgium, Italy 2nd place, Singapore 3rd, Russia 2nd, Japan and USA 1st, Mexico, Brazil 2nd, and Abu Dhabi 1st place. That was only his 1st win in Hungary, but he's managed to drag it back. And if you go through the races,
yeah, so Larkin takes the win, and with it the championship, ahead of Tegebe with a great drive to 2nd. Both those guys keeping it clean when others didn't. The 2 Haas drivers, both of them had controversial races. Jos getting the nod over his teammate, but I do actually believe with that, Jos will actually move up to 4th in the championship, ahead of Jaco, Energetics in 4th, Shape in 5th. What could have been for him, Sebi in 6th, could have been better for him. Harry had damage at the start, couldn't do much more. Evolution in 8th, and Gameaholic and Willow Wolves both disconnected, with Extrema and Jaco crashing out of the race.
And I guess there's only one thing left to do. As on request, let me find their names. Oh, okay, I will use that then. There we go. Do you want to do the asking your questions?
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Hello?
That's a good pun, actually. Lark the Herald Angels sing. That's a good one. We should use that next season.
Daniel is not here next season.
Oh no.
He's racing.
I know. I'll be using it next season.
So we're just waiting for Harry, and then we'll get things going. Hopefully it was his request, so hopefully he is actually here.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
What a tough race.
Yeah.
Guess we can get things underway.
Yep. Seeing as you guys are the top 2 in the championship, as things turned out, we'll have a look. So we'll start with our champion, Larkin. Not the greatest start to the season for you. You were struggling to pick up podiums, but it seemed like after Hungary, everything just clicked for you. What did you change to? Did you make any changes to your driving style? What clicked to make you start going on a run of podiums?
Good question. The half decent track started coming around, and I'll put that as the reasoning. I didn't really change anything. I think other people stopped practicing as much, so they all got slower. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously, if we look at what happened today, starting from 11th on the grid, you really had, well, you picked the strategy correctly going on the supers. Seemed like you were able to just take advantage of a lot of chaos that went on during that race. Did you, at what point did you realize that you were in a great position to potentially take the race win?
After the first corner, when I've made up about three positions, yeah, things seem really good in the whole of that first stint. I mean, the whole plan for the race, I wasn't even really going for the win. I just wanted to help my teammate try and move themselves up in the championship, but they bottle everything.
Ooh,
Oh, it doesn't
throwing
matter
some
really.
shit.
You got both championships, and just wanna literally watching you. It reminds me of Vettel in his prime. Um,
Ooh,
on because I'll let me get to the point because when he had that, what was it, 11? What was it, race wins in a row? I don't even know, but he was pretty much unstoppable. And once he got into lead, no one gets near him. So it's kind of like you, especially today. As soon as you got into that lead, you just pulled away. Yeah, you got reeled in a bit at the end, but yeah, you were quite imperious today, to be honest. Seventh, made up 4 positions after turn one. We're about fifth on lap two, so well done to you, man. Congrats on the championship.
Thanks, means a lot.
so moving things on, we'll move on to our second place finisher in the Drivers' Championship. As it turned out, I believe as long as RJ's maths wasn't wrong, Energetics
Nice.
did actually grab P2, I believe, on race wins. So going to Energetics, you didn't last season. You also raced in this league, and you were a midfield runner. Did you expect to move forward and start challenging the top drivers in this league, or were you maybe just hoping to stay where you were? Because certainly you've improved a lot since that season. So are you happy
Yeah.
with your season? Yeah.
At Australia, I thought let's get top five at the end because I thought I was a midfield runner. When I was able to challenge for the champion position, um, it got really interesting for me. So, like, am I really that fast this season? And yeah, after um, I realized I could be champion. I went for the champion, of course, but when Larkin was the champion, eventually, I set my goal to second place because that was manageable.
Yeah. But looking at today's race, you looked like you were on for a brilliant result until you were collected by a spinning Mercedes of Extrema. What was
Yeah,
going through your head at that moment?
you don't want to know. I was screaming, and my girlfriend says, "What are you doing?" I was really screaming because I lost a bit of my front wing. Otherwise, I could challenge a Larkin for the win. Um, that was really hard. I thought Larkin has paid him, but of course, it's not possible to do that. But I was really mad at the time, but I realized that Harris was at last place at some time, and then he was seventh. So at the final few laps, I thought, make it clean, make it to the end, and hope that it's enough.
Yeah. So obviously you did have quite a battle with your teammate.
Yeah,
What was do you talk to him during the race? And if so, what was going on between you two in terms of like
yeah.
communication?
We are in a party with each other because we're both Dutch, of course. The first spin he had, I was on his inside. I didn't mean to be on his inside, but it was so chaotic there. And then he turned to the outside, and he collected my front wheel. And when I had my front wing damage after it, he challenged me and thought, no, it's my last race with him as a teammate, so giving him a good shot.
Okay, so move on to our third place finisher in the championship. Harry, you started the season very strongly with the second and the first place. Did you, at that point, did you think that you could be champion at the end of the season? And seeing as your challenge has fallen off maybe a little bit, are you disappointed with it? Even though it's still a top 3 finish, what are your thoughts on how the season's ended?
Yeah, I was expecting to get P3 at least tonight. I didn't have the pace throughout the rest of the season, like from the half of it, but yeah, I began the season like really strong, but again, I fell back of the pack. So yeah, I didn't put too much practice in as well in the last rounds. So yeah, satisfied with how it turned out, P3, so yeah.
You mentioned that you've not practiced as much recently. Are you racing for next season, should I say? Are you more motivated to try and push and maybe grab the championship potentially, or how's your motivation just fallen off completely? What are your thoughts on that? Are you going to be willing to put in the time next season?
No, I'm gonna start fresh and begin pushing again, more practice sessions as well. So I should pick up the pace again and challenge for the championship like I did last season. We don't have too much time, so we need to end it around here. So I want to thank everyone for racing this season. Every commentary, Meet Falcon, Warley, you. Ross as well. So yeah, next season should be really tough to compete in. I've seen some teams like are really strong again, so we should be back in action really soon. And that was season 16. If you wanna.
Can we give a shout out to Willow and Evolution, who look like they're leaving us now and have been with us for a long time, turning up every weekend, always racing fair, always racing fast, and it'll be a shame to see those two gone.
Yeah, good luck to everyone that's going to main leagues and whoever is gonna continue the assist leagues.
Yeah, I share those sentiments as well, and I think it is a good time to wrap this up. Yeah, that's been the final Grand Prix of season 16. Please do join us. I don't know how long it's going to be. I think we might be looking at 4 weeks. I'm not entirely sure, but if you're interested, do check out the website. If you want to sign up, but we'll be back and fresh, as Harry said, for season 17 coming soon.